Welcome back. The controversial new Texas law empowering local and state police to detain, arrest, and transport migrants simply for being here without legal permission has been invalidated by a federal judge. In granting a preliminary injunction, Judge David Ezra said Senate Bill 4 violates the Supremacy Clause and, quote, threatens the fundamental notion that the United States must regulate immigration with one voice. As expected, panel, Governor Greg Abbott vowing to appeal and insisting Texas has a right to defend itself from invasion when the federal government refuses to do the job. I'm going to go back to a few shows ago. Bill King said this is clearly unconstitutional because it violates the Supremacy Clause.
Yeah, I wish we had a little outtake of Gomer Pyle going, surprise, surprise, surprise. You know, listen, this was absolutely predictable. It'll be upheld all the way through. By the way, all my law enforcement friends said they never had any intention of enforcing it because, you know, they're solving 60% of the murder cases and 20% of the rape cases. Who's got time to run around and chase down illegal immigrants? This was always for show. Look, there's all this virtue signaling on both parties about the immigration issue. Nobody gives a damn about actually solving the problem.
All right, political theater. Well, that's before political theater, Holly.
I don't know if it's political theater. I think it was a sincere attempt to try to do something. And I have to agree with Bill. I mean, it doesn't look like this law is going to hold up under legal challenges. And I wish I were wrong about that because something must be done. We're talking about approximately 8 million people coming across the border, unvetted, unscreened, since Biden took office. For many of these people, we don't know where they are. We don't know what they're up to. We provide lots of incentives and no deterrence, and this is a crisis that must be addressed. I know we're going to talk about it more later in the show, but there was a Gallup poll last week. Illegal immigration has surged to the #1 issue that Americans are worried about going into this election, and it's not just all political. I mean, you have to give kudos to Governor Abbott and the state of Texas for at least drawing a lot of attention to the problem, whereas now we are seeing people in other parts of the country realize what Texas and other border states have been grappling with for years.
All right, Marcus, pile in here.
So I agree with Holly in parts. I don't believe that something must be done. I believe the right thing must be done.
That's
and
fair.
Given police officers who I have debated do not have the training to govern themselves with the unlimited authority on the streets, giving them even more authority over any citizen, not just illegal immigrants, because this law allowed them to stop you, and prove your citizenship, and that's an ugly place to be in. But this law came as a result of the federal government not doing the right thing, right? So yes, it is political theater on both sides. The Republicans are theatrical because the Democrats are just dumbasses.
25 seconds.
I agree with Marcus on the last comment.
Well, I mean, I'm just serious. You don't just leave the border sitting wide open.
Right.
If Gary, you had to argue this before the Fifth Circuit, what would your argument? You got 15 seconds.
I looked at the opinion, I read the opinion of the judge, and he used words like could and might in talking about how this would create problems. But he didn't say it was going to happen for sure. I actually think there's a shot that the Fifth Circuit will take away the temporary injunction. It'll go through litigation. Purpose of the legislation, Greg, quickly is to let them do this at the border. That's what it is, not to do it in the streets of Houston.
We'll talk more about it.